industry in which you work. We have facts to back that statement up.
Alex has got a card. This is serious.
This is very serious. You were the first female African-American to host the Academy Awards solo. Yeah.
Yes.
This is massive. You became the first black woman to be an EGOT. And we mentioned an EGOT last night.
Right.
It's a person who's won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony.
Yes.
Now, when you were a young girl growing up, did you ever dream that you'd have such a stellar career?
No, all I wanted to do was be a myriad of other people. I wanted to live on other planets. I wanted to speak other languages. I wanted to be able to be pretending to be a couch in a room. I wanted to be things and people. I wanted to do anything that crossed my mind, because that's how my mind worked as a kid. Is trees would talk. I'd make things happen, and my mother would say, "Can you not make the toilet seat talk while I'm on it?" And it was
I can see where she's coming from.
Well, and it's the only thing that I really always felt I could do. And I'd watch movies as a little kid, and I think, I could do that, because nobody explained to me that A, a lot of those people were no longer alive, or B, that other people may see me differently than I see me. But we worked it out. We worked it out.
Oh, you more than worked it out.
It's a creative mind, isn't it, from an early age? And you've done so much. Probably a difficult question to ask if there's a highlight in amongst it all.
It's all a highlight.
Yeah.
Because no one outside of my mom and people who knew me as a little kid, like my big brother, ever thought it was possible. They always said, you can do whatever you want to do. You can just go for it. If it doesn't work, you'll do something else. But other people were like, look at you, look at you. And I'd be like, trying to look at myself and say, I'm all right. And, it took people a little while to get used to me visually. And then they sort of said, okay, that's you. That's you. So, yeah.
Well, your new film that you've produced and you star in could be the film that is most talked about yet.
Yes.
It's called Till. It's really hard to watch. It's based on a true story.
Yeah.
I'll let you tell everybody what the film is based on.
Well, in 1955, a normal little boy who was 14 years old, who happened to be black, and his mom, she allowed him to go down to see relatives in the South. And while he was down there, he whistles at a white woman, and her family comes and takes him out of his family's house, and they kill him. And it is a story of a mother and her love for her son, because she is now faced with having to go down to a place where they don't think of her as a human being, because black people were not thought of as human beings. They thought of us as animals, and then proceeded to try and treat us this way. And she wants his body sent back up to Chicago, where they live. And when the body comes back, it is in a shape that none of us can imagine. Now, I say that, and then I'm going to take a pause, because I want you to understand, you don't see the torture. You don't see it. When you come back, his body is back with his mother. And what you do see is you see her looking and touching his body, and then she goes out and she asks some men to come in and to photograph it. And they say, why would you want to do that? She said, because I need them to see. If they don't see what they did to my child, they won't believe it. No one will believe it. It became the catalyst for the civil rights movement. But our movie makes it okay for you to bring your 11-year-old, because people need to know that these stories are not just black stories. This is a story about you. If you are gay, if you're a trans person, if you're a woman who's being told that you don't have the right to deal with your body as you wish, if you're an Iranian woman who's being told, do as I say, and that's it. This is a story you need to know about because this is systemic. This is what's systemic. It's the worst of systemic racism. So you need to know that that's out there because black, white, Asian, Iranian, name something. This is your story. This is the story of your child and your motherhood, if you are the mother.
And that's what it's not graphic, it's the reaction of the mother. That's where the power comes. I think we need to let everybody have a look at it.
Did you have a son who in his lifetime was known as Emmett Till?
Yes, sir.
He ever caused any trouble in Chicago?
No more than any other boy. He never thought anything would happen to him.
The body of Emmett Lewis Till has been found dead.
I need to prepare you.
The whole world has to see what happened to my son. I have to be strong for my child.
And what about my child?
I had a son. Now I know what happens to any of us, anywhere in the world, had better be the business of us all.
There are some incredibly powerful moments in this film, but it's actually a story that you've been trying to tell for a long time, isn't it?
Well, the man who...
Why is it taking so long? Oh, that's a big question.
Here we are.
It's a huge question. People said nobody wanted to see it. They said nobody cares about it. It's old. It's that. And one of the things that we've been saying to people to get them to recognize is most of us learned about World War II through the Diary of Anne Frank, through a young person and what happened. Well, this is also a diary of what happened to an ordinary woman and her ordinary son who were put in extraordinary circumstances. And the woman who plays Emmett Till's mother, her performance is you've never seen a performance like, I mean, ever. I've never seen it.
Danielle Deadwyler, she's amazing.
She is magnificent.
Yeah.
Magnificent. And I have to give kudos to the director because the director knew what we wanted and she gave it to us. She gave us ordinary people in extraordinary circumstances. It's one of my proudest moments. And it took a long time because people didn't care.
Well, they're already saying that it's going to be tipped for the Oscars. I mean, Danielle, yourself, the film, all of it.
Listen, in my wildest dreams, I would like the film to get the nomination. I would like Danielle to get the statue because she earned it.
Absolutely.
You know, everybody in this film left their heart and soul in here.
Yeah.
And it's a film for the people. We want you to see it and help in a little way to make sure none of us has to ever face this again.
It's phenomenal.
Thank you.
Thank you, Whoopi. Till is out in cinemas now.